Good morning, everyone. One of two things has happened. Either the podium has grown over the summer, or I won't verbalize the other alternative, but it could be the latter. So, welcome. Always a really exciting day to have the first day of school for the new teachers. And of course, next week, the coming first day of school for the students. So I welcome you all here. Let me review just quickly the program for the morning. We're going to have some words of greeting. And actually, one of the greeters not yet here, so we may move along and then break in if he comes. We're awaiting Paul Healy, who's the chairman of the Hingham Board of Selectmen, 3-member Board of Selectmen. And I think we enjoy a good relationship with all the different town boards and committees, and particularly with the selectmen, so we appreciate their ongoing support. We also will hear from Eliza O'Reilly, who's chair of the school committee. Subsequent to their comments, I'll invite the principals, 4 of the 6, because 2 of the 6 principals don't have any new people in their building this year. So I'll invite the other 4 to come up and tell us a bit about the new people to their buildings. Subsequent to that process, there's about an hour and a half when all of the new teachers will meet with the building administrators, the principal and the assistants. And at 10:30, you all need to be out front where you came in, the main door, and the big yellow bus will be here to take you on the tour. And Jen, where's Jen? Jen Henriksen, one of the assistant principals at the high school, is the tour leader. You'll be the first people in the new bus. We have 22 brand new buses all ready to go for next Tuesday. We're pretty excited about that. So the bus will bring you back here around noon, and then the Hingham Education Association will take over for the rest of the afternoon. There's a luncheon. The mentors will be here. Some exciting talk, I think, at the luncheon, a speaker. And then the HEA. Do we have an MTA rep coming today too? Jen and Courtney have apparently left. So usually there is an MTA rep, and that pretty much wraps up today. Tomorrow morning you need to be back here at the same time. Workshop here in the morning, and that's run by our wonderful mentor committee, and that takes you to about noon. Then you want to get some lunch on your own, and at 1:30 be back in our office, and we'll have a special ed Hingham 101. And Liz Curlin, Liz, want to stand up? Liz is our Director of Student Services, and her new assistant this year, who's also, Liz O'Neill. And so that will be a workshop that will occur back in our office in the conference room. Some of you who were just signed on board last week will need to meet with Nancy Cronin, the payroll person, tomorrow after Liz's presentation, likely right in the same room. And then on Wednesday, the regular convocation that takes place at the high school, and so coffee will be available from 7:15 to 7:45 or so, and then we'll move into the auditorium for some more greetings and also a review of educator evaluation, which will be led by Jamie Labilwa. Where's Jamie? Over here, who is our brand new assistant superintendent, although he's been here for 3 weeks now, so he's got it all under control. And also there will be a time for the HEA to meet in the auditorium. We'll be out of there at 10:30 and off to all of the other wonderful things, department meetings, elementary people back to their buildings, in the afternoon, building meetings, and so on. So it's a busy 4 days, and I always say if you survive the 4 days, then you're going to survive the year. And so far we haven't lost anyone. So at this point, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about your group. I'm speaking now to the new teachers. There are 18 people, teacher candidates this year. Last year we had almost 40, so quite a few fewer. And most of our folks this year are secondary people. 8 of you have a bachelor's degree, 9 have a master's degree, and 1 PhD or EDD candidate. So, and that's in addition to Jamie, who's new, and in addition to Andrew Nemichi. Andrew, want to stand up? Andrew sort of just committed on Friday, late on Friday, but he's here this morning nevertheless. He is going to be our new MET coordinator, and also in addition to Liz O'Neill in her new role, and also in addition to Erica. Where's Erica? Erica Pollard is our new director of foreign languages, although Erica has been a teacher in our district, Chinese and social studies for a number of years now. So I noticed that Mr. Healy has come in. We'll let you have a little of your coffee, Paul. So we're really excited about what's happening here, and every year we think we hire the best, and so we do a lot of screening. We reach out through School Spring mainly, but also word of mouth. We hire a few people each year who've worked for us in another role. I think there are 4 or 5 of you who've worked for us either as a sub, or did student teaching, or as a tutor or a paraeducator, so that's always great. And then the rest, we tend to hire with group interviews. We tend to sometimes ask people to come in to do demonstration classes, so we're looking for the best that's out there, and that's who you all are. And I would say the same thing about the best of the people we already have here. The administrators who are here today really represent the best that we think we can get, and also work well together as a team, and we are a team. So at this point, I would like to introduce Liza O'Reilly. Liza is the chair of the Hingham School Committee, 7-member school committee, and Liza will bring greetings from her group.
Thank you, Dr. Gallo, and good morning and welcome to Hingham. My name is Liza O'Reilly, and I serve as the chair of the 7-member school committee, as Dot mentioned. Also joining me today is Dr. Ed Schreier, who chairs our subcommittees for special education and long-range planning, and he has a great passion for all our students as well. Our committee is represented by parents with students in all level of the district, elementary, middle, high school, plus recent and past graduates. I myself have a 7th grader, a 12th grader, and a college sophomore who graduated from the high school. Our professional experience contributes skills from the financial, legal, human resources, marketing, diversity training, management, editorial, and education fields. We collaborate with each other and the staff to maximize the resources available from the town, state, and federal grants. We pursue efficiencies and find innovative solutions to all the challenges before us. The school committee is focused on making sure that every penny is spent wisely. As you know, our schools educate about 4,250 students from more than 2,300 families, and the 670 plus dedicated staff working in 6 schools covering 686,000 square feet of space. It's a big job, and we're focused on making it the best for all of you and to provide educational excellence for all levels of students and inspire them to do their very best. Also, the school committee works closely with our advisory committee and the selectmen. Hingham has an open town meeting form of government that I'm sure Paul will mention, and we have a very involved community in our government. Lots of voices are heard, but it ends up being a very positive experience in our town. And fortunately, the needs of the schools are balanced very well with the overall resources of the town. We are very proud that by spending wisely, we deliver a quality educational program at the best value. Hingham has the lowest per pupil spending costs of the top 50 schools ranked in the 2015 Best of Boston School rankings. And I was to say the new 2016 rankings focused on high schools, but Hingham High School moved up to number 13 in the list, which was the biggest jump we've seen on that listing, so we're very proud of that. I just saw that yesterday, so it was great. And Hingham High School, we're proud to say, is nationally recognized as Blue and Green Ribbon Schools, AP Scholar honorees, and two-time in Newsweek's America's Top High School list. 94% of our students graduate to four-year colleges, and vocational school opportunities are available to any student. And we know that our elementary schools and our middle schools contribute to creating the foundation for the success in high school. And these schools do a tremendous job in creating that foundation. All of them are vibrant and have active support from hundreds of volunteers who support our staff and the students with supplemental enrichment programs and grants. And on top of that, the Hingham Education Foundation, Hingham Sports Partnership, and numerous businesses provide thousands of dollars as well to all our programs. Another key job for the school committee is to supervise the superintendent, which fortunately we don't have to do a whole lot of that. But we are very fortunate to have talented and long-serving leadership, not counting Jamie as our newest hire, but we're lucky to have found somebody that has wonderful experience and is joining our team. We're very excited about learning from him and his involvement. Our leadership has seen it all, and they're experienced educators who look for common sense practices while adapting to innovations and making a positive difference. You have come to a community and a school district that's more a tortoise than a hare in its approach. But we're winning like the tortoise because of the choices that we make. And believe me, I'm reminded many times by the experience from our leadership of relax, we'll get there, we'll do it. But I'm also fortunate in when us as a committee say, well, what about this? What about this? We hear the voices from all the staff, and they're willing to think outside the box and move us forward. So we thank you for expressing an interest in joining our community and congratulate you on becoming an East Explorer or a Plymouth River Wizard, fostering heroes at Foster, buzzing with character at South, and being proud harbor women and harbor men at the middle school and the high school. Together, we are all Hinghamites, and welcome to the 2016-2017 school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Liza. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Paul Healy. Paul is the chair of the Hingham Board of Selectmen, as I mentioned earlier, a three-member board. Paul is also a native Hinghamite, and he and his wife both grew up here, went to school together, and I just saw on Facebook a couple celebrations, a birthday celebration and an anniversary celebration. So welcome to Paul.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have any prepared remarks. Liza covered that rather well. What I speak to is the commitment that this town has to educating its children. And the fact that you're sitting here in this room is proof positive that Dr. Gallo and her team are committed to continuing with quality education for our kids. Like Dr. Gallo says, I went to school here. I went through the elementary, the middle school, the high school. I graduated in the class of 1974. I have 5 children. They all went through school, graduated. They've all graduated college. One's a lawyer, one has a PhD. I guess the only reason I'm saying that is that the education that we got here and that you're going to give to our children is going to give them that chance that they need in this community and in this world. When I think back of the teachers that I had, I can still remember some of them that had a profound impact on me and gave me that thirst for knowledge, that interest in improving myself, becoming a better person. Catherine Brick, 4th grade. Dave LaHive, history. Edith Howard, history. David Sharp, Latin. Frank Tierney, English. I exhort each of you to become one of these names that's cited 50 years from now by somebody standing up at a podium like this saying, I had one hell of a teacher, and I can still remember them. You all have the ability and potential to be that. The very fact that you were hired by this town, you've become a part of that mission. And I truly wish you the best success and good luck coming up. Thank you very much.
So a couple of more introductions. I introduced two of my teammates at central office, Jamie and Liz, and actually other Liz lives there as well. But John Ferris is over here to my right. John is the Director of Business and Support Services. Welcome to John. And now I'm seeing over in the corner Jen and Courtney, our mentor coordinators. I had thought they had left the room, but these are the gals who've done all of the work getting ready for today and tomorrow, so we thank them, and I think you'll be impressed with what we have to offer to our newest people. I'd like the directors who haven't been introduced to stand up so that I can recognize you as well. Hingham has a very, what I think is unique characteristic in terms of how we manage curriculum and the various departments. We have 7 directors. They're K-12 people. And I'll introduce them starting over to my left. Andy Hoy, Social Studies, K-12. Erica, we introduced before because she is new this year. Heather Rodriguez, who is the Counseling Director at K-12. Over to the right side of the room, Lainey Silva, and Lainey is the Director of English and Language Arts. Dave Jewett. Dave is the Math Director, K-12. Katie Roberts here in front is the Science Director. Over to my left, Rose Doran. She's the Director of Family and Consumer Sciences, and that's at the secondary level. And who did we miss? I think that's it. I think our Director of Athletics is probably on the field at the high school. So typically, when we do the introductions of the new teachers, I ask the principal to come forward. We'll ask the principals to introduce their assistants, and then the people who are new to the building. Because 2 of those principals don't have any new people, let me introduce them and start with Chuck Cormia, principal of Plymouth River School, and his assistant is Melissa Smith. Over here. And then Debbie Steller is principal of the Foster School, and her assistant is Jen Newell. So with that being said, let's start with Tony Keady, East School.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, my name is Tony Keady. I'm the principal at East Elementary School. I'd like to start by introducing my assistant principal, Becky Case. Everybody knows Becky does the work. I'm the good looks. So we have 2 new hires this year. We're very fortunate to have 2 quality candidates. The first of one is Michelle Barry. Michelle received her, she deserves the applause. Michelle has her undergrad in Spanish and elementary ed from Simmons College. She has a master's degree from Boston College in reading. She has a variety of experiences as a reading specialist and a classroom teacher in Braintree and Weymouth. She has served many long-term substitute positions for us, notably long-term sub for us in 5th grade twice. So Michelle will be filling in for Jessica Sullivan, who's taking a 4-year leave of absence, and welcome Michelle. Our second, by the way, this is Becky's idea. We have a lovely gift bag for you. Thank you. Our second new hire is Brian DeMarco. Brian has his undergrad in speech communications from Bridgewater State. He has a master's degree in elementary ed from Eastern Nazarene College. Brian, once like myself, is a career switcher. After graduating college, he had a variety of different careers for Verizon, some other private industry, before making his change to elementary ed. Brian most recently was employed as a third grade teacher in Weymouth. Due to enrollment cuts, Brian is able to join us. So we welcome Brian DeMarco. And Brian, here's your gift bag. And we do have one more gift bag. He's not been officially introduced, sort of, but we would like to offer this to Jamie for his.
Mary Eastwood, principal of South School.
Good morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay in the back? You okay? All right. I've never been accused of being soft-spoken, so whatever. So anyway, welcome everybody. We welcome you all to the Hingham Public Schools, and it's so exciting. It seems like I just started yesterday. I've been here for quite a few years, and it is a phenomenal place. I was told as a first-year teacher that it was a definite teacher trap, and I say that in a very positive way because it's someplace you're going to love coming to work, that's for sure. And we know that, I can already tell from the people that have been introduced, that you see the job the same way all of us do, and that's as a vocation. And I think that's why Hingham is such a successful place, because people do not see it as a job, they see it as a vocation. So we welcome you all, and good luck with your start of the year. I'd like to introduce our assistant principal, Lori Jacobs, in the back of the room. Lori is also, like Tony said, it's so important to have a good assistant, and it's great that you get all the work done together. It's a wonderful thing. So we have one teacher to introduce today, and she's not new to people at South, but she might be new to some of you people, and that's Katie Hall. And Katie has actually been on our staff for quite a few years. Dot mentioned earlier that sometimes we hire paraeducators and people that have come through the ranks and worked with us, and Katie's one of those examples. And she started at South Elementary School actually in 5th grade many years ago, and she's worked at, I think, just about every single grade level, and most recently at the 2nd grade level. And Katie is quite impressive in that she is always enthusiastic, a very positive attitude. She has done just about everything at South School. One day we were desperate, and I found her and I said, I hear you speak Spanish. So she has substituted in the Spanish room and done most of her work with children with special needs. So she is going to be a special needs teacher with us, and she comes to us with a degree from Sacred Heart University, and it's in psychology, and she also got her master's degree in moderate disabilities at AIC. Katie has worked about 3 or 4 jobs for the last many years, and probably the things that stand out about her are her positive work ethic and her positive attitude, her can-do attitude, and the way she treats everybody with great respect, especially the children. So welcome aboard, Katie. We're thrilled to have you as a member of the teaching staff. Thank you.
And next, Hingham Middle School principal is Derek Smith, and Derek has a large number of new folks today to introduce.
Good morning and welcome. Glad you could all be here this morning. I think you're going to be thrilled with your decision to join the Hingham Public School System. It's a wonderful place to be. We have quite a few people to introduce from the middle school, so starting off with our family and consumer science teacher, I'd like to introduce Miss Andrea Feeney. Andrea comes to us from Ireland, so we did a worldwide search to fill that position. In addition to her previous teaching experience in Dublin, she is an accomplished Gaelic football player, so she will be able to introduce those talents to the classroom, I'm sure. In our school psychology department, I'm pleased to introduce Miss Allison Flynn. Allison has quite a wide variety of experiences from Acushnet, Fairhaven, Barnstable, Mashpee, so we are thrilled to bring those talents to Hingham Public Schools for this year. Our nursing department has been enhanced with the addition of Suzanne Hallisey. Suzanne previously worked for the Pilgrim Area Collaborative, but in addition to that, she is a yoga instructor, and knowing how to calm and relax herself after working with 1,100 middle schoolers each day will come in handy this year. I'd like to introduce Ms. Colleen Kelly for our special education department. Colleen previously worked at Hingham High School and has a background in the military as in the Air Force, correct, Colleen? Again, going to help her out in dealing with middle schoolers. Ms. Heather Perrine rounds out our Family and Consumer Science department. She was previously a science teacher in the Braintree Public Schools as well as Winchester, and she's going to bring the science back to Family and Consumer Science. And in addition to that, she told me that when she was younger, she was active in the 4-H program, working with livestock. Again, going to help her with working with middle schoolers. We have Scott Semchenko joining our Social Studies department. We were lucky enough to have Scott with us last year as a paraeducator, and about halfway through the year, every teacher that worked with Scott said, if there is an opportunity to get this guy on board, you need to do it. He did a fantastic job, and we're looking forward to a great year with him. In addition, he is a musician, so if you're looking for something to do on Tuesday night at the Tinker's Son, you can find Scott behind the open mic night. And finally, Jamie Von Fryman, our second school nurse. Because at the middle school, we don't just hire by teachers, we hire whole departments at a time. Jamie came on board just last week, and we are very excited to have her here, and we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you very much. Have a great year. Traditionally, I forget to introduce, this is passed down to me from the previous principal, Roger Bodie, I forget to introduce the assistant principals. So, David Reardon and Allison Janowitz, who I could not do my job without. Thank you very much.
We're big on tradition here. Some traditions are worth remembering, and others perhaps not. And last but not least, Paula Gerard McCann, principal of Hingham High School.
Welcome everyone. I'm sure you'll be thrilled to work in such a wonderful, supportive school community. Let me begin by introducing my assistants, Jennifer Hendrickson, who's also the bus tour leader, as you heard, and Rick Swanson, the other assistant principal. Well, we hit the jackpot at the high school. We have 8 new teachers. As you heard, Erica Pollard has become the department director, so she will only be teaching one section of Chinese. So Seth Warren. To Seth, we say ni hao. Seth received his BA from Wesleyan, his MA in Chinese from Ohio State University, and his MAT from Brandeis. He's taught Chinese at Belmont High School, Swampscott Middle School, and Situate High School. During graduate school, he studied in China, and actually he spent much of this past summer studying in Beijing, where he totally immersed himself in the language and the culture of that country. He's going to teach Chinese 1 and Chinese 3 to students in grades 9 through 12. Spanish department is pleased to welcome 2 new members. First is Zachary Bagan. Zach received his BA in English and Spanish from UMass Amherst, and he taught last year at Longmeadow High School. He's going to teach Spanish 1, 2, and 3. Joining him in the Spanish world is Laura Carpenter. Laura's a graduate of St. Michael's College, where she received her BA in Spanish, and Providence College, where she received her MED. She's been teaching most recently at St. John Paul II High School in Hyannis for the last several years. She also served as the chair of the department there. While there, she took students on a variety of different cultural experiences, including a night at the ballet Don Quixote at the Boston Opera House, a volunteer trip to Ecuador, and tours of Barcelona and Madrid. She's going to teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 4. Rory Mallerby is the new member of the Industrial Technology Department. Rory's a graduate of Fitchburg State, where he received his BS in Technology Engineering with a minor in Manufacturing Education Technologies. He spent the last 2 years teaching technology technology education at Silver Lake Middle School. Prior to that, while he was in college, he started his own furniture shop where he both designed and constructed custom furniture. He can certainly use that experience in the Hingham High woodworking classes. Additionally to woodworking, he'll teach consumer auto and auto technology. Power technology, excuse me. The math department has a new member, Alexandra Rasuti. Say it. Sorry, say it again. I want to get it right. Ricciuti. Okay. I'll work on that. She received her BS in math from Bridgewater State, and she's currently working there on her MAT in math. She comes to us from Weymouth High School, where she taught a variety of math classes, ranging from pre-calculus to algebra. For us, she'll be teaching freshmen, sophomores, and juniors algebra linear emphasis, algebra quadratic emphasis, and pre-calculus. Social studies has two new members, Michelle Greco. Michelle's going to be teaching World History 2 to sophomores and American Studies, or American History, to juniors. Michelle received her BA in History and Political Science from Indiana University and her MAT in Government from Cornell, where she taught 3 semesters during her graduate work. She began her teaching career at Turners Falls High School and most recently worked at City on a Hill Charter Public School in Dudley Square, where she taught civics, American history, and served as a 9th grade advisor. The other new member of the Social Studies Department is James Conley. James received his BA in History from Stonehill, where he was active in music and the performing arts. He also completed a sea semester. He served as a crew member of a 130-foot sailing vessel studying the history of colonization and slavery in the Caribbean. He will teach World History 1 to freshmen and also work as a paraeducator for the rest of the day. And finally, last but not least, to the Science Department, we welcome our long-term sub, Paul Muller. Paul has his BS in Environmental Biology and Environmental Chemistry from Bridgewater State, a Master's in Biology from UMass, and he's a PhD candidate at Northeastern. He's taught several courses at Northeastern, and for Hingham High, he'll be teaching biology and integrated science to freshmen and sophomores for the first semester. So welcome, especially to our high school people, but to all of you. I wish you a wonderful school year.
Thank you, Paula. Did we do a good job? Not about the introductions, but about the choices that we've made. I think we did. And we have many, many years in the past, and so you are all the class of 2016. Welcome to all of you. So we have about an hour and a quarter now to meet with the new people in each building, to meet with the administrators there. And Derek has a list of the places where you will go.
So high school people are going to meet in our guidance conference room, and I can lead you to that. Polly's been there before. Middle school is going to be in the Educational Support Services conference room. East School, we have a conference room on the 2nd floor, 236. Allison, if you could lead them there. And South School could meet in a phone booth, apparently, because there's only 2 of you, but you can stay here or we can give you a room, okay? All right, so that's that.
Okay, thank you very much.